Hey everybody, we've got a really exciting video coming to you this week about our top 10 bucket list travel destinations that you have to visit before you die.
So you've been cooped up for more than a year now. You've been inside for way too long and you're just itching to get outside.
So we thought, why not scour all the amazing trips that we've taken since 2010 and come up with these exciting trips that you can put on your bucket list. But before we get started, we want to let you know that we will be sharing more travel ideas coming up. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and click the bell so you get notifications when those videos are ready for you to watch.
So let's get started.
Let's go on safari!
When putting together a travel bucket list dream board, it just wouldn't be complete if you didn't include an African safari. It's just one of the best things to do in anyone's lifetime.
Definitely, and one of the great places to do it is on the Serengeti in Tanzania. We're about to enter the Ngorongoro Conservation Area and off to the Serengeti. Let's go! And actually, Serengeti, translated from Maasai, actually means endless plains. And let me tell you, the Serengeti is 12,000 square miles of endless plains. It certainly lives up to the hype.
Now everybody goes to see the big five. And what are the big five, Dave?
The big five are buffalo, rhino, elephant, lion, and leopard. That's pretty good, eh?
That was well done. Seeing all of these animals just living in harmony on the plains of the Serengeti, it's really an uplifting experience. And it's something that I think we all need after this very dark year that we've had.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ngorongoro Crater.
Now, safaris, they can range in different prices depending on who you book with and what kind of trip you want.
Yeah, we went with Go Ahead Tours and it was a really great mix of luxury and camping and a little bit of ruggedness. Had a lot of cultural experiences as well, and I really highly recommend it. But you can do budget safaris. If you go right into Tanzania and have the time and book with a local tour operator, you can get some safaris for pretty cheap. For the most part, if you're going to book a Tanzania safari, expect to pay anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000.
It's worth it.
It is.
One of the things I've loved here on this trip in Tanzania is the eclectic mix of accommodations. You have tented camps, you have luxury lodges, lodges inside the park, lodges outside the park. It's just such a great way to experience Africa.
Now, going on safari in Africa and the Serengeti or wherever you decide to do it, it's more than just about the wildlife. It's really an all-round type of trip. You know, there's obviously the wildlife viewing, and there's cultural experiences, there's incredible food, and getting to know the locals is really part of why you will fall in love with this part of the world. Now, Bhutan is one of the least visited countries on Earth, and for that reason alone, it should be on your bucket list. There's a lot to explore there other than just the Himalayas, but that's kind of the focus when you're going to Bhutan.
Definitely.
Most trips in Bhutan definitely include Paro, the city of Paro, because there is the world famous Tiger's Nest Monastery, which is just stunning to see unto itself. It's about a 2-hour hike to get up there, and the scenery all the way up is pretty amazing. But once you get up there and look at this, you can just imagine what it would be like. The monks living in this very remote monastery that is perched on the side of a cliff. No wonder everybody goes there.
But then there are a lot of other treks to be had. It's one of the greatest destinations for trekking on Earth, and you can do something for as little as 2 days to seriously 25 days. It's home to the Snowman Trek, which is considered the toughest trek on Earth.
Bhutan is also known as the country of festivals. They have festivals, it seems like, almost every week in almost every city. I know when we were there, we went to the Highlander Festival, which took place up in a small remote village in the Himalayas, but there's different festivals in all different cities throughout the country.
And a very fun fact, during our time that we went to the Highlander festivals up in Laya, we met the king of Bhutan.
So we just talked to the king. As you can see, Deb was really excited, and so was I. We're almost kind of stammering. Not allowed to take any photos or video of him, but it really did happen. And you can really see why he is called the people's king. He walked down the line and he talked to everybody. He's very humble, and you can tell he really loves this beautiful country. One of the reasons Bhutan is one of the least visited countries in the world is probably because it does have a tourist fee of $250 per person per day. Now, this includes your guide, your food, and your accommodation, so it's not too bad, and it's really worth it to have a guide and everything included because everything in the country is quite remote, so you want to have that looked after for you.
And I think it's worth it. I think it helps with over-tourism and it supports the economy.
Spectacular!
Like so many places in the world, the most important thing about traveling is getting to know the locals. We still keep in touch with some of our friends from Bhutan, and they really are the friendliest people on earth.
They are.
Okay.
See you inside.
Roger that.
Let's go.
Okay.
Here we go, everybody. We're entering the Great Wall of China. Let's go. When we were putting together this list of bucket list destinations, we definitely had to add the Great Wall of China. We've had the luxury of visiting China, or the Great Wall of China, 2 times. We've gone to the one at Badalang and the one at Mutianyu. I think I'm pronouncing
Mutianyu.
Mutianyu. Okay, you know, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Obviously, I'm not. And they really did live up to the hype. It's pretty amazing to see this feat of engineering. A lot of it has been rebuilt, and you can go up there and walk on it. And you can just imagine what it was like when it's being built and why it was built as an amazing defense.
We're on the Great Wall. We're walking up to the towers right now. This is the iconic one that you see on all the magazines and on TV. It's very exciting. There's hardly any tourists here. It's mostly locals that are here visiting the Great Wall. So it's really cool to experience it with everybody that is here from China.
It's getting steep.
We made it to the top. That is a steep climb, everybody. Woo! And it's a traffic jam too. It's absolutely incredible, and it really is one of the top destinations for your bucket list on Earth.
And that was the Great Wall of China.
Something that was always on my bucket list of travels was the Amazon River. And when I got the chance to go there, I was so excited because this is the biggest river in the world. Well, it's the biggest by water volume. The Amazon's number 2 and the Nile is just a little bit longer.
Yes.
But what's really special about this is that the Amazon River just takes you way deep into the heart of the Amazon rainforest. And that's what's really cool about it. This
Yes.
river is wild and vast and fast.
Yeah, and one of the things I really loved about going down the Amazon was actually getting on the skiff boats and getting out there into the jungle and also meeting the people. But the wildlife there was pretty cool as well. You know, you got to see spider monkeys, we saw pink dolphins, there were 3-toed sloths. Like if wildlife is something that you are really interested in, then a cruise down the Amazon is something you have to add to your bucket list.
If you were out there alone, you wouldn't see any wildlife. Our guides were really great at spotting it because the Amazon is really dense with jungle. They would find it and then show it to us. And it's just incredible to have them spot it with their eagle eyes.
Yeah,
they're just awesome.
It's incredible. Like, I don't know how they do it. Obviously, lots of training.
Yeah.
But,
And we went with international expeditions, and not only just training, they had local guides who really grew up in the area and knew the area well.
And we got to stop into some local villages. So it's really interesting to see how people go about their daily lives and how they actually survive out there on the shores of the Amazon River.
We were on a really luxury boat. We had entertainment nightly. We had fantastic food. We had our own private suite with a balcony that we could overlook the Amazon River with our coffee in the morning. And if you're going to do a cruise like this, it's going to set you back about $6,500, and I think it is well worth it for a trip of a lifetime.
Cheers. Great village visit. Time to head back to the boat. With Canada being our home country, we can't leave it off the bucket list. So, if a bucket list thing that you have to do is head up and drive the Dempster Highway in northern Canada. It's this incredible road that goes from the Arctic Circle all the way down to the Wild West town of Dawson City.
This has to go on your bucket list because it is the ultimate drive. If you're looking for one road trip to do in your life, this is it. It's just so remote. But what I loved about it is that we didn't see barely any other cars. There would be like one car every few hours that we would pass.
Let's go. One thing you definitely get here on the Dempster is beautiful scenery. The Peel River going into those mountains, it's perfect.
One of the unique things about the Dempster Highway is that we share the road with airplanes. Yes, this is an airstrip, and yes, planes do land right here.
So far, the Dempster Highway drive has been everything I expected. Beautiful scenery, long, open roads. You really feel like you have nature to yourself. One of the things you'll do on the Dempster Highway is cross the Arctic Circle. Right where I'm standing is the Arctic Circle. I'm not in the Arctic Circle, I'm in the Arctic Circle.
We are at the Peel Ogilvie Lookout, and what a gorgeous view this lookout offers of the Ogilvie Mountains and the Peel River Valley. Beautiful. Make sure you stop here when you're doing the Dempster Highway.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We drove the Dempster Highway all the way from Inuvik down to Dawson City, and let me tell you, it was awesome.
And it deserves a kiss. Welcome to Iguazu Falls.
So when you come to Iguazu Falls, you have to make sure you stay at the Hotel des Cataratas. Why? Because it is the only hotel that is inside Iguazu National Park. And this gives you exclusive access to when there's no crowds here. So you can head down to the falls at sunrise before the park opens and for sunset when everybody has left. It really gives you an exclusive access to see all different parts of the park without the crowds of people. So if you're going to visit one waterfall in your lifetime, make it Iguazu Falls. And what makes it unique is that it's situated in the jungle. You know, it's surrounded by jungle and rainforest. It's a unique location, but it's also an absolutely massive waterfall. And you can take it in from above, looking either you take a helicopter or the lookouts are pretty amazing. But what I recommend is to actually get down there. They have a boardwalk that goes right along the bottom of the falls, and that gives you a sense of exactly how massive they really are.
This is incredible! Okay, I'm going shoes off. I've got nothing with me but my GoPro. We're heading to the jet boat. Let's go. Whoa, we're going in there.
How awesome is that?
We're going in. That's awesome. Ah! That was wicked fun. Welcome to Meteora.
For me, a bucket list destination is a place that can look like no other place on Earth. And there's a place like that in Greece. For a bucket list destination, you have to head to Meteora.
This is the most incredible landscape in a valley, in the Meteora Valley. It's massive, but what makes it even more incredible is that there are these monasteries built on top of them. And they built these monasteries on top in the 9th century.
So before 1922, the way that you got up here was they put you in a small little net and two monks would stay up here and push
that wheel around, and as the rope got shorter and shorter, that's how you get up. Quite an adventure. You want to climb up there?
And it does look like something out of a movie or that was computer generated.
Yeah.
Like when you look at it, you're like, oh, you know, how can this actually be real? But when there's lots of different hikes that you can do around there, so you can go hiking through them. You can actually climb up and get into a few of the monasteries to see how they actually lived. And even the town itself is an attraction as well.
Something I love about exploring Meteora are all of the high lookout points that you can do to explore and see the city of Cappadocia behind me. I think it's one of the most beautiful city settings on Earth, having these gorgeous stone pillars just jutting out from the town. And you can do this by car, by foot, by bicycle, by scooter. You just have to make sure you come to the high lookouts.
Now that is a view. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you'll definitely recognize this view. Meteora is a photographer's dream. So when you come to Greece, make sure that you add Meteora to your itinerary. It's got beautiful views, amazing food, and great history and culture. You won't regret it. Ciao.
Cheers from Cappadocia. Have you ever seen those photos on Instagram or on your Facebook with all those balloons in the sky with all those fairy chimneys jutting out of the ground? Well, that's the next item on our bucket list destinations to see before you die.
And we are talking about Cappadocia, Turkey. This place is, again, like a bit of a lunar landscape, or like
Definitely.
something that's out of another planet. And the best way to appreciate it is to take a hot air balloon ride over top of it at sunrise. No wonder they do it at sunrise, because really that's the time to see it, with the sun just coming over the edge. And you're not the only balloon in the air there. Like Deb said, you know, you see those photos with all those balloons. It's really like that. There are multitudes, probably hundreds of balloons going up at the same time every morning. It's amazing they don't crash into each other.
What an amazing balloon ride here. When you come to Cappadocia, do it with Royal.
Yeah, they're good. We've done it twice now, and this is the better one.
By far.
Yeah. And when you go there, make sure you spend more than just a day to take the hot air balloon ride. You have to walk around the entire area because there's caves to explore, there's walking trails, there's the incredible monoliths and the landscape. And when you do stay over, stay in a cave hotel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All these caves that have been there for centuries have been turned into hotels. So people used to live in these small little caves, but now they've turned into these luxury accommodations. So why not pair a bucket list trip by going up in a balloon by staying in a cave hotel? Come on, it's got to be on your list.
The great thing about Turkey is that it's quite affordable. What you get for 5-star in Turkey, you would pay a fortune for here in some place like New York City.
Welcome to Petra here in Jordan. The Middle East is full of a lot of history and some really incredible destinations, but one that really stood out to me and I wanted to put on this bucket list was Petra in Jordan.
What's so amazing about it is that it was hidden for so many years because it's in the center of this massive rock formation. You have to walk for 1.5 kilometers through a narrow gorge to get to an opening, which is really like this big square, what it used to be the public square, and it is the treasury. And once you've come along this big narrow gorge of rocks jutting up on either side and then come out to this massive building that's been carved into the rock, you just can't believe that this is even possible.
Heading up to the monastery here, there's I think 800 steps, so getting our legs in shape.
So behind me is the monastery. It was 800 steps to get up here, and as you can see, it was well worth it. And a lot of people actually say that they like the monastery better than the treasury. Jury's still out on that for me, but I like them both just the same as it stands now.
And it doesn't end there. Like, you continue going, and there's different small carved out buildings in the rock. You can spend a whole day exploring the whole lost city of Petra, and you can actually head on up and look over. There's a few lookouts there where you can look over both the treasury and the monastery.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end of the world.
So this is Petra. What an amazing day we had at the ancient city in Jordan in the Middle East.
Welcome to Antarctica.
Bucket list destinations are about experiences for sure, but they're also about bragging rights. And this next destination is all about bragging rights. We're talking about Antarctica.
It's the mother of all travels.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's the seventh continent, the final frontier.
So we made it here, our seventh continent, Antarctica. We've stepped on the actual continent today. Woohoo!
It was a dream. It was a dream vacation
It really was.
the entire time we were there. Seeing all of this wildlife that isn't even afraid of human beings.
Yeah, really, you can have wildlife experiences there like you can't have anywhere else in the world. There's something special about going to a place where people don't inhabit, you know, like there's no tourism down there as far as things set up on the island.
Yeah.
And when you're down there on a ship, which is the way to do it on an expedition ship, you know, you're out there discovering different channels and different areas of Antarctica that open up at different times of the year. So every trip is different.
Penguins would jump in front of you. They would come up and sit on your lap. It was just an incredible destination.
So we've made it here to the Shetland Islands, which is our first stop in the Park Expeditions. And we get to see tons of penguins. And you know, if you sit down and be really quiet and sit there and be calm, they'll come right up to you. We have to stay 5 meters away from them, but they can come up as close as they want to you. It's really, truly a great experience.
My favorite thing to do is to just get out on the Zodiac looking for whales and looking for leopard seals and Weddell seals and circling around icebergs.
So we've just had an amazing experience. A couple of humpback whales just went right under our boat and they were just meters away. It was so incredible. I've never been that close to a whale in my life down here in Antarctica. Very cool.
If you're an adventurer like we are, and when you're down there, I highly recommend doing the kayaking.
Oh, yeah.
It's an option for a lot of the cruises that go down there. There's something special about being at the level with wildlife. You know, you're up a little bit on the Zodiac and you're going pretty fast, but paddling through brash ice and having, you know, a minke whale come up and surface beside you. It's experiences like that that make this the ultimate bucket list destination. Now, I did say there is no accommodations down there, but that's kind of not really true because you can get the opportunity to actually camp on the continent of Antarctica.
Well, this is home for the night. This is my sleeping bag and my bivvy. Made a nice little bed in the snow and we're camping in Antarctica, man.
Now, a bucket list trip like this, or the ultimate bucket list trip, it's going to set you back a few bucks. I mean, there's a reason why not so many people actually make it to Antarctica, and usually it's because of cost. A lot of the trips, they start at about $10,000 per person, so you'll want to save up for this one, but let me tell you, it's money well spent.
And these are the bucket list travels that we say you have to do before you die.
So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click that bell so you get notifications when we put out different videos every week.
Stay tuned for part 2 of our bucket list travels because 10 is just not enough. I think you need 20. There might even be a part 3 because the more we dug through our archive footage, the more we found.